Port Lincoln Times was a real country newspaper. It was we had a Goss community. We had a Goss printing press, which is pretty new. Pretty new. We had 4 units. I think each unit did 8 pages, so we could print 32 pages at a time.
Yep.
On a Thursday, we'd sometimes do 2 runs and collate, as you know. You would have stood out the back collating, right?
Every Tuesday and every Thursday, because the Tuesday one had to be collated too.
Did I?
Yeah.
Every week?
Yeah.
I was just printing it. I was printing it, then collating it.
You were one of the few people who didn't have to collate.
Well, I had to get in and collate afterwards.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I'd jump in the bongo van and go deliver.
You poor bastard.
Yeah.
So it was all hands on deck, wasn't it?
Well, mate, yeah, especially when it got late, especially. So the job was complex. You know, we used to get the, so at the time, they called typesetters that would type all the articles, they'd put them through the wax machine, cut them, design a page, send it through.
Terry Kemp.
That's it, yes, Kappa. Yeah, what a classic. Legend, yeah. And David Story as well.
Yeah, what a classic.
Yeah, Big Dave. What would happen is they would create these pages, wax all the type and the pictures and such onto a board on a page, and when they were done and approved by the editor, they'd come out. Did they get approved by the editor once they were done?
I presume so.
Laid out already, but we would get a board, so it was a 32-page paper. We'd get 32 individual pages. They'd come out as they were ready.
As a bromide by that stage?
No.
No, okay.
So I would take.
So it was a paste up?
Yeah, it was a paste up. That's correct. So we'd take a bromide of it out the back. Yep. So Wolf Barker was my illustrious
leader,
senior. Yeah. He taught me a lot. He was good at what he did. He was good on the printing press, but he didn't want to bar it after a couple of years. So he took off. I think I was 3rd year apprentice, 2nd year even, and he took off, and it was left to me.
At the Times?
Yes.
Really?
And he taught me enough by that stage to shoot a bromide of each page.
Yep.
To put it on the light table and opaque all the impurities out, all the cut marks that you'd see on the negative. And
which involved doing what?
So you'd put the negative on the light table with the bromide, and you'd have a paintbrush. So everything that got pasted in there, or every wax daub that wasn't supposed to be there, came up as an unwanted mark. So you would have to paint all over these pages. You needed a steady hand. It was quite a skill, actually. So you'd get all the impurities off that bromide, and then you would have to make a set of 4 pages. Okay, so as you know, there's a configuration with the page. So I think it was page 1 went with page 32, the back page, and then the middle pages went with that as well, obviously. So I think it was 15 and 16 and 1 and 32. So.
Thanks very much, man.
Thank you, mate. So yeah, look, after we got the impurities off it, when we got the right pages, we could take those 4 bromides and set them. We would have to tape them together perfectly symmetrically. All the measurements had to be right. We'd tape them together in a set of 4, and then we would go and put them on a plate and burn the image areas of the type and the pictures onto that plate with a UV light.
Oh, UV?
Just with a curtain.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes, mate. Remember the curtain? So we'd burn it with a UV light, and then we'd have to process the plate. We'd have to basically develop it and wash it and wax it, and then we'd have to trim it, and we'd have to fold it, and then it would be ready to put onto the press. Then we could start doing the job of a printer. So we did a lot of work. The printing was the least of it.
Nothing digital?
Nothing digital. So offset lithography, quite a skill to learn. Obsolete now, pretty much. I know a couple of printers still, but yeah, you don't see many of them around anymore. I think, all your typesetting and such now is computerised, from what I understand. But I think it's still running the printing presses. I bought a newspaper today, so they are.
They still exist, yeah.
That's right, yeah. Well, the Cairns Post is still printing on the Goss community, I believe.
Yeah, is that right?
Same press we had in, as we had in Port Lincoln, and the same as we had in Whyalla.
Yeah. So what would happen, Beaver, when it actually hit the press though?
Okay.
Because you've got obviously, how does the ink stick to the right stuff?
So being offset lithography, that means that it's the blend of ink and water on the plate. So your image areas on the plate that you burnt in under that UV light, the ink would stick to them because they were oleophilic and it was oil-based ink. And the non-image areas, if you had the right amount of water on the plate through your roller system, it's a system of ink rollers and water rollers that all come down and marry onto that plate, and you get the levels just right across the board. And the non-image areas will be cleaned by the water because they're hydrophilic, and the image areas being oleophilic would hold the ink.
So the ink goes over everything and then it's washed off the bits you don't want?
Would go onto two rubber blankets, two big rollers that the paper would go through. They had a rubber blanket that would take the image onto it and then rubber stamp it basically onto the web as it went through. Big 460 kilo rolls of newspaper, on every unit.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was advanced at the time. At the time, it was the bee's knees with the technology.
Because I know when Rule Press came in, the first thing they did was rip out the press and move it somewhere else because that apparently was quite valuable.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Where did they send you? Oh, Whaler News.
Whaler News, mate.
And of course there was no option.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah, all right, we're pretty much done. Good on you. Thanks very much, Beaver. Good on you. Do you want a pizza?
I'd love a pizza.
All right, have a piece of pizza. Yeah. Fantastic.